travel, budget, cars. Welcome to the life of P&K. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I want to make this quick video. Hopefully it's going to be a short video, but I want to show you a couple of features that I've finally started using. I mentioned them in the previous video that I wasn't too sure how to use them, so I learned a little bit about it. I still find a couple of them redundant, but there's one feature at the end that I really enjoy, and I really think a lot of other manufacturers should be actually using it. For BMW, they've done a great job with it. But before that, I want to show you a couple of features. One of them obviously is going to be parking, and the second one is going to be parallel parking. In the real world, when we try to use those features, parallel parking can be somewhere between trying to do math and doing psychology together. It's very difficult. There's always someone behind you trying to go through or take your spot, so you have to fight them for a spot. So using the actual automated portion of that, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to combine everything together, make it work flawlessly. But BMW tried their best. Again, let me show you these two features real quick. So what you have to do is for the automated parking. So this is a parking that if you, let's say you're trying to park and there's spots like this and you just try to park in there, obviously there's no one behind us, so we're not in a hurry, so it's really easy to use it right now. So what you have to do is you have to make sure the seatbelt is on, you're in the driving position, your foot is on the brake, and then over here you're at the screen. So you have to click on automated parking. If you don't have this checked, it's not really going to work for you. So you have to click that, and then the car is starting to look to its right and see where it can find a spot. So let's start with that. So I'm a little bit outside, so I'm gonna get closer to the car. So you have to have this sensing, like the side sensor sensing the next cars, the spots. Otherwise, if it's an empty parking lot, it's not gonna help you out. That's a downfall because I do like to park away from everyone. So in this case, it doesn't really work for me, but we can continue driving slowly. So the car is not finding anything. You can see there's the blank spots here. The car is not really finding anything. We're gonna pass two more cars. Really close next to them. And it found the spot. So now all you have to do is click, and you can select how the car will park. Would it be parallel parking or perpendicular parking? We want to do perpendicular in this case. However, I'm a little bit closer to another car, so let's see how it works. And all you have to do is press the P. The car puts the blinker on, and then all you have to do, I'm not touching this, press P. You can't touch the steering wheel. You have to keep the steering wheel. You have to keep your hands away from the steering wheel, and all you do is remove your foot from the brake, and the car starts doing its own thing. I'm not 100% sure it will work, but it's doing a good job. And you can see it's finding its spot. And again, I'm not doing anything. The car is doing everything on its own. I've also noticed that when there's two lines like this, the car gets a little bit confused. So I have to be very careful of it not hitting the truck. And there we are. It says completed, vehicle secure. It shows you how the doors would open. Again, it's not fully parked. It's using the truck. This is a big van over here, so it's using the truck to judge where the spot ends. So it's not fully parked in reverse, but it worked perfectly. It worked excellent. So the next thing I want to show is the parallel parking. So all I have to do is put it in drive. Let's go forward. Hopefully you can pick up the spot up there in the front, and let's see. Just take your foot off the brake and just, like, you know, drive your car like normally, so that way it can find the actual spot. So you can see the sensors here, they're looking, and let's see if we find the spot. Okay, the car found the spot. One thing I want to do is, I believe sometimes this can get confused with your parallel parking or your perpendicular parking. I believe right now the arrow shows it's going to parallel park. So all I'm going to do is just take my foot off the brake. That's it. And the car is going to start attempt to park. And you can see it's doing everything by itself. I'm not touching anything. I'm obviously hovering my foot over the brake just in case something happens. And there we go. The car is going to do some final minor adjustments. That's it. Perfect parking. You can see the car put the car's back in park and put the actual e-brake on. And that's it. This is basically parallel parking and perpendicular parking. The car does it by itself. Again, they're not very useful features in the real world because of how fast the world acts around us and the psychology of the drivers and such like that. Make sure there's space between you and the driver behind you when you're trying to parallel park. Perpendicular parking might work a little bit better if there's like a tight spot and you're not sure how you can fit. And lastly, I want to show you the final feature that I think is actually very effective. That is a feature that a lot of people, if they live somewhere in the country, or they have a steep driveway to their home, or they have like a difficult driveway to get to their parking spot, they can use that. And it's a very, very useful feature for that. Or if you're parking like a tight spot and you're not too confident how to back out in reverse, that feature is really good and it's going to help you a lot. That could be the backup assistant feature. So let me get driving. So let's say you guys are approaching a driveway. It's a weird driveway where you have to make multiple turns and you can only park forward. This is not going to work if you're trying to back up in your driveway. This is going to work only if you're trying to park forward. So let's say you're doing that. You're trying to approach the driveway and I'm doing that right now. So let's say this is the entrance to our driveway over here. We're approaching this from the main street that we're driving on, and we have a very tough drive to park. Like our driveway is very like windy, or it's difficult to get to. It's difficult to get to the parking spot. So this is a great feature that's going to be very useful to a lot of people when they have that issue. So let's say again we're in drive, we're approaching our parking spot, and we can just go. So we're pulling into our nice, wonderful parking spot here. We're slowly driving through our driveway. We have to make like a weird turn here, then like a weird turn here, and then another weird turn here, and then eventually we park in our spot. So we're parked in our spot. You need to get inside the house, do whatever you want to do. You can turn your car off, leave the car. The nice thing about this feature is that it records your final steps every time you park. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to press any extra buttons, nothing like that. So let's say you're done with your business, whatever you have to do inside the house. All you have to do is start the car. The car starts. Press the park right here, and you come back to this menu over here. All you have to do is press the backup assistant. And it says backup assistant, engage reverse gear. So to activate the backup assistant, you need to engage the reverse gear. You engage, you put it in reverse. You can see the car is already doing its thing, already adjusting the wheels. One thing to notice, it only records 164 feet from the final drive. So if you drove farther than that, if your driveway is bigger than that, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. So this records about 164 feet. All you have to do is just lift your foot off the brake, but keep maintaining the speed. I would say about under 5 miles per hour, so that way it doesn't disengage the reverse assistant. In this case, we're gonna start going slowly. I'm still pressing the brake very slowly, so I keep the car going slow in reverse, so it doesn't disengage the backup assistant, as I said. And you can see the camera is following the exact steps that I did as well. You can see the steering wheel is moving the same way I moved it before I parked here. And we're slowly reversing. And you can see this is approaching the entrance of our imaginary driveway, for example. And you can see it's following the exact same steps, or the exact same trajectory from how I drove it, which is phenomenal. And you can see it's getting very close to the curb where we were, but it's following that specific step. And you can see it gave us a warning, end of the route was reached, and it tells you to take control of the vehicle. But we're right where we started, at the main entrance to a gateway, for example, if you had a gateway or like a driveway or anything like that. Well, everyone, these are the 3 features. 2 of them I think are very difficult to accomplish in the real world. Again, parallel parking is like playing Texas Hold'em in one hand while drinking a beer in the other hand, and there's a cycle behind you trying to park. It's going to be very difficult to use that system. It's not too bad. It's relatively quickly to react, and it picks the spot quicker for you. But again, parallel parking is very psychological, and it's very difficult to do under pressure. And giving it to a computer, it's even more stressful, to me at least. I like to do it myself. The perpendicular parking, not as bad, more easy to accomplish, especially if you're going to the mall or you're trying to find a tight spot, fit in a tight spot. What are you laughing about?
Going shopping.
Yes, going shopping, like the person behind the camera said. But if you're going to the mall, you're trying to find the spot to squeeze in, which again, I will avoid those spots. I always try to park at the end spot or like away from everyone. So again, it's a feature I will not use. The backup assistant, now that to me I find very helpful. If I park in like a weird spot, it's very difficult to get out. I don't see what's going on behind me. The SUV is a little bit higher, so you don't see what's on the lower level of the car. This is going to be a very helpful feature. It can be very useful, and also it's like a cool party trick. You can show it to little kids and they'll actually enjoy it. But again, these are features that it will be very difficult to accomplish in the real world. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video showing you some of the features that the 2022 BMW X3 comes with. This is the new version of the parking assistance. The pre-2022, it's a little bit more delayed. There's a certain more things that you have to do. I believe you have to hold the parking button pressed to do all that, which creates more complications. This is a little bit more advanced in a way. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, press the like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.